two dope dudes, bringing you the news, leading you to much success with all their insightful views. Do you grow yourself or buy from the top shelf? Are you here to take the reins and gain back your health? Whatever it is, you know the biz. Leave a light, crack a pipe, and let's get on with it. If you want to acquire the knowledge, you don't have to go to college. You can just come hang with Aaron and Dave.
Welcome to the Elevated News Podcast with Twodopedudes. We're a podcast focused on discussing local and national cannabis news and culture. I'm Aaron.
I'm Dave.
I'm Charlie.
What's up, Charlie? How are you, buddy? Good times.
That's the best one yet.
Oh, yeah.
What's good, brother?
As you can see, we got a special guest today.
The most special of guests.
Not
Yeah.
that special.
As one of the last podcasts we're going to be doing here at the Lil Bean Grow shop here in DeKalb. We figured it was time to get Charlie on since we started at the Lil Bean glass shop in St. Charles and then came over here, and Charlie's been so kind to let us use this community space for our podcast, our little show.
That's right.
Yeah, our little show.
That's right. Without Charlie,
yeah, it wouldn't happen.
you guys wouldn't be able to see how beautiful we were.
Yeah, for sure.
That's right.
Yeah. So, Charlie, welcome.
Thanks for having me.
Glad to have you.
Good
We
to be here.
podcasted before, but not Elevated News.
Yeah.
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 We've done some stuff.
Good to
It's
have
good to
you.
be. It's good to be back on with you. It's
Yeah.
good to be here. Good
Yeah.
to see Dave.
Yeah.
It's been fun.
Yeah,
it's been watching you guys and your journey
Yeah.
over the last couple of years.
Yeah. This is
Thanks.
episode 70. The last one was 69.
Yeah. Oh,
Nice.
That's cool.
Nice.
That's cool. Good for you. Congratulations.
Yeah.
Yeah. Honestly, we do. We owe you a ton of gratitude for this. When Aaron told me last week that this would be the last week we do things here, we might do one or two. I don't know what the story is, but it only felt correct that we bring you in. There's a lot that goes on behind the scenes in a lot of the scenes, right?
Mhm.
Even the scene that everybody here is familiar
yeah,
with,
sure.
and
Yep.
all the events and the everything.
Yep.
The behind the scenes is that guy. So if that's why I had to, when I asked Aaron, I said, we got to bring him on, man.
Yeah.
He's you really have been an integral part since I've started talking with Aaron.
Mm-hmm.
I first was kind of an outsider, right? And I saw you from a distance and I was like, that dude's fucking badass. He's cool as fuck. Like, but I felt like almost like, I want to say celeb status, but almost, right? Because you were the guy. So like I stood back for a little bit, and Aaron obviously got me intertwined, whatever, and talking, but like you've done enough, and in that space, maybe you don't see it, but when, as just an outsider, when I first walked in, you were the fucking guy. So
Yeah.
for me, it's
Wow.
always
Thank
been,
you.
yeah, for me, it's always been like a, I see all of these events go on. I've been to quite a few of them,
Mhm.
even when we were doing the fucking Token Tuesday stuff. A huge facilitator of a lot of the folks who came through and a lot of the people
Yep.
is you. I think you're the glue who holds a lot of this shit together. And yeah, we just needed to sing your praises a little bit. And then I want to hear some of your perspective on some things as we go through tonight. But
Yeah.
Wow. Thanks, Dave. That's beautiful.
yeah.
It's humbling to hear you say something like that. It's honorable. I appreciate it. And it's where, first of all, I'm mostly behind the scenes because I'm too ugly to be in the front.
Yeah.
That's where I belong.
Yeah.
I got a face for radio. But it's cool hearing you say that. And anything I ever did was never for any of that recognition. It was always it had a greater purpose.
Yeah.
I'm very driven and very passionate, and bringing people together and connecting people and growing culture and community is at the heart and the base of everything
Yep.
that I try to do.
Every time that I've talked to you and through even the conversation we were just having before we hit play on this thing or record on this thing, you do everything with a level of, I know that this is right. I know that there is a truth behind this, and it fucking sucks that other people don't see it. But let me hurry up and grab everybody who does understand it and sees it so that we can build a big enough army to make sure that when anything goes fucking stupid, or if anything goes stupid, we've got everybody here as a support net. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, your vision and your truth to this makes it so much more easy to buy into.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that comes from one part comes from living a certain lifestyle, a certain cannabis lifestyle from an early and young age, and understanding cannabis at its core, at its heart, in a way that most people don't even recognize or realize really that's there. And then it's another part of having a vision of from an early age, having a vision of what things could be,
Yeah.
or how it I don't want to say should be. I believe it should be.
Yeah.
And that's part of what you were saying. See, I'm so bought in and believe in what I do that I'm not selling anything. I'm just out there building it and believing in it. And
Yeah.
that kind of is what people buy into.
Yeah.
And it's the realness of that.
Yeah.
And
That's
exactly
kind of, it's that mixture that delivers, that I think that brings out what everyone is experiencing at these events. And honestly, going back to just how this podcasting thing works, right? I'm only able to provide that opportunity because I was provided an
Right.
opportunity. And it's one thing, I was provided opportunities at a young age to get myself up and out of the streets, to get to that next level, that got me to that next level. But really, when it comes to the heart of this culture we're in, the community we're in right now, it goes back to that very first event.
Yeah.
I had an idea. I put the idea out there. Word got around, and if it wasn't for the community itself giving me the opportunity to do this,
Right.
I would have, and I've said this before, I would have been just some dude standing in the back of a parking lot smoking weed by himself, looking
Right.
kind of stupid.
Yeah.
People bought in, and it was, we're going to use these words all the time, but it really was that whole rising tides, rising all ships. It was all the vendors coming in, being there to provide something for the people who showed up, to be like, whoa, this is cool. We're going to come back and tell our friends. And it grew and it grew and it grew. And word of mouth got around to where, like, it's now the seal of approval. Like, you don't know what you might get out of some of these other events. And I love the events.
People talk real nice on Reddit about the Lil Bean events.
And I appreciate that.
You know what I mean?
And
Because they're
Reddit's a
put on
fucking
well.
foul ass place too. You
But
can-
like that whole thing, that's the rising tide raises all ships.
Yes.
You and I have extensively talked about this, but like that's how Support Dope People started. It was being there in the beginning and like seeing this, hey, we can all eat. There's room for everybody at the table. We can finally stop this hate war, jealousy, whatever thing that people have. But that's really, there's people's own mental issues.
Yes.
But that's where it was born
Well-
from. Support Dope People. Like,
Well, and cannabis, going back to all that, we all can eat cannabis. At
Yeah.
the heart of it, this is the way I see cannabis. There's a lot of different little communities in the cannabis world, right? There's all these little bubbles. But at the heart of it is the cultivation community. Because that's where the plant
Yeah.
comes from, and that's where it all,
because the cultivators actually love the plants.
and when I see
we have this
when I
love
think of
for it.
the growing community, what I really think about is the farming community.
Yeah.
And traditionally, the farming community was based around nurturing and taking
Yeah.
care of each other.
Yeah.
It wasn't
right.
Community.
yes,
Completely.
yes.
Because if your combine ain't working this week, I need to ask Joe down the street to bring his.
and farming was the
they do
way
it all
we were going to
together.
feed the mass versus
100%.
versus hunting and everything, where you could feed the few. Farming
Bingo.
was going to be how we started. Agriculture is the way we fed and took care of the community.
Right.
Bingo,
At a
that's-
large,
that's
and that's what it is with cannabis. It's really, and it's I say this all the
Yeah.
time, and that's why there's so many people, and a shout out to Rochelle. There's so many people like her who
Go Cub
do
winner.
not who do not even smoke and consume cannabis, who's more
my wife
cannabis
too.
cannabis culture and community than
Yeah.
people who do smoke it. Just
Yeah.
because you get high don't really make you one of us.
Facts.
Right.
What the cannabis community culture really is about this plant and raising each other up and,
Yes.
and nurturing and taking care of each other.
Yeah.
And that's what's at the heart of it.
In spite of our differences.
Exactly.
In
And,
spite
and
of.
that's the way I see the growing community at the heart of the cannabis culture as
Yeah.
a whole. And it's a foundation that I use to kind of pull the whole community together, whether it's the glass community, whether it's the hash community,
Yeah.
you know, whether it's just the I just want to be high as fuck community, because
Yeah.
there ain't nothing wrong with that. You know, cannabis is a medicine. It's also a recreational tool. You know, and it's a vice for people to just kick back and relax. So, but the cultivation community is what I used for our foundation. That's
Yeah.
what I used to gather all of us together to kind of like bring this.
Well, we wanted a place to gather, and that was a place where we could come get deals on grow stuff, and we would all
Yeah.
come together and hang out.
And one of the big things for me was me growing up, I saw a lot of separation in the cannabis community. All these little different. I was like, we need to bring each other together.
Right.
Because honestly, as a whole, we're a tiny little community compared to the rest.
Right.
And there really should be more of a camaraderie, so we can kind of build and cultivate our community and
Yeah.
kind of get rid of all the bad image and kind of help normalize cannabis
Yeah.
and you know, to normalize it as much as possible. And we do better together. Like
Yeah.
it's saying it again, you know, we're gonna rise up together faster if we were to do it as individual little pocket communities.
Absolutely.
Yeah, no, I mean, networking is networking, right? Spreading, I mean, it's the pay it forward concept. If I can tell 3 people and your 3 people tell 3 other people, by the time that we get 3 people past that, we've got big ass events that are really, really coming together. And I think the other thing too, through what you just said, you said something to the effects of buying in. The one thing that I will give you massive credit for is how not for the money a lot of this has been from you towards, especially like just me and Aaron alone. You've never asked a penny from either one of us to come do this, be in your space every week for the last 70 weeks or whatever. We come every day. You
Yeah.
allow us in.
Once
You've been
a
very
week, not every day.
yeah, well, I mean, you've been very open to us, but I've seen that outwardly through a lot of the other community, and I think that is like, that is the whole part of why this community is separated from that of something else, right? There's more
Yeah.
passion. I'm okay. I'm paid more by seeing other people smiling, eating, having fun than I am to like eat myself, right? So I like
Yeah.
hosting more than I like to sit down and be the guest sometimes. And there's more gratification. If you look at it as a negative and you go, oh my God, I have to do this. This is the burden of me. I have to be the host now. And then you're pissed off because you have to clean up when everything's done. That comes across. And from you, it's never been that. Like you actually go the extra miles and you're, like I said, from me, it's always been a thing where I see you doing things out of passion and not for a financial gain. And again, we all have to make a fucking few dollars here and there, but
Sure.
like that has not ever been from what I've seen you be your driving factor. And it's made you very easy to be around, very easy to go, holy shit. Whatever you're supporting, I'm down to kind of support that too, because it's not a money grab. It's not like you actually have badass shit. Everything that you do, your vendors, they're all badasses. Your music performances, they were badasses. Like
Yeah.
your venue spots themselves, they're fucking awesome. Like everything you've done has been superb. And yeah, I appreciate everything you've done to make this community what it is. What does that look like in the future for you? What do you want to achieve?
Okay. I'm going to get to that. I'm going to jump back to that. But first, you know, I appreciate what you're saying. And that starts with the heart of everything is, you know, everything that I am, I built myself from the ground up, which means I'm a hardworking person. Like I've gone in and clocked in and had to do the work myself. So I
Yeah.
know what it means to, what my dollar means.
But I also, right before we hit record on this too, you said none of this is me. This is the entire community. And this is
Right.
everybody. If it wasn't for Aaron putting this
Right.
together, we wouldn't have the access to some of the other
Correct.
folks,
So,
right? There's just
so going back to the hard, exactly. So I have a respect for everyone else's dollars. It's not a money grab. I've worked hard my whole life for everything I've had, and this was more about building something. Um, when it comes to needing to survive or the cost of building something, yeah, there's been times I needed to ask for a price tag on the events and stuff. But when you really look at it, it's been reasonable. But it all stems from hard work and having a great team, and the team has bought in because they see that. My people stand behind me, and that's what makes it so great. And it's about not capitalizing off of other people's hard work.
Well, I'd say you've given quite a few small businesses and
Oh, yes.
entrepreneurs their start. I mean,
Yes.
Fire Ferments, David. I remember Love Green Culture, who just
Yep.
won Best Homegrown in Urban Legends. I remember him sponsoring Stoner Olympics. You know what I mean?
That's something that's weird because that's
Goat,
actually something I've
first Goat,
always done.
first and second Goat Cup. I'm not saying that you're responsible for Goat's success, but I mean, like, obviously you were involved. So, like, you know what I mean? Like, you're still trying to put on people
Yeah.
who are, you recognize excellence in.
Yep.
You know?
And that's one of those things where when you work with people like that, you boost each other up.
Yeah. I mean, you let me do my old podcast, at your events, which was always fun.
Yep.
And that turned into something else for a while, and that was fun.
And I don't want to get too far away from Dave's actual question. So, but the success of all that was the hard work and understanding the value of people's times and money, and really wanting people to buy in by buying into the culture. When I say buying in, I don't mean with their pocketbook. I mean with their heart.
Mm-hmm.
And buying into what we're doing and believing in it. And yes, sometimes when you want to bring in those big bands, those really good entertainment, and you get the nicer venues with that looks, fancy with the lighting and you got to put a little bit more of a price. But honestly, if you look at the two bands and the market that people are provided, and maybe at the most we've seen like a $20 ticket price,
Yep.
and the market you get, like that's really reasonable. And it's not about capitalizing. The monetizing part was necessary to make it happen.
it costs $10 to go to a fucking high school football game.
Yeah.
I'm okay, dude.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Don't never feel like you have to justify why something costs anything. And I think the other thing is too, we should anticipate to like regardless, there should be a support
Yeah.
in that, right? The fact that you muscle all the load of some of these things is crazy and beyond, right? So never feel like you have to
Yeah.
justify
Yeah.
a fucking point
Well,
of that. But
there is not so much a justification. It's about being open and clear with people, and I
Yeah.
want people to understand. Since no one really knows what it looks like behind the scenes, sometimes I want people to know. I
Yeah.
want people to understand
Yeah.
what it takes to really to pull these off in a very successful way. Because you know what, honestly,
6 a.m. Wake up, start dabbing.
yeah.
and it's
That's
Step
the thing.
2, start pacing.
the other thing too is that it's what
that
I
wasn't
think.
that was an I'm sorry, but
Oh,
that
you're
was a thing. You
That-
remember? Okay.
Yes, I remember that.
I
it
still
was
actually
a list.
I might still have that dry erase board with that written on it.
Yeah.
That's fucking
It's,
So-
yeah.
Anyways, I want to answer your actual question though about the future, what this holds
Yeah.
for the future.
Yeah.
Because me and Aaron were talking earlier, and I said, this has been a hell of a ride for me. I've loved a lot of it. I was going to say I've loved every second. That would be a lie. There's been a lot of ups and downs, but it's been beautiful because it's been a very passionate and experienceful journey for me. And I'm grateful for it. And it gave a lot, and it's time to kind of walk away from this chapter, but it's not the end. You know, it's the end. It's the end of the beginning. But there's another page,
Mhm.
and what I'm doing next is at the heart of it is just I'm going back to my roots. Literally,
Yeah.
it's going back to what I was just saying is the cultivating community, um, and highlighting the plant and educating people on the plant and the cultivation of the plant and the use of the plant and the diversity of the plant, and focusing and highlighting people of the culture and the community that should be recognized, and not just for growing, because those people should be recognized and they have been, but let's recognize the other people of the community.
Well, we cannot forget the end consumer either, right? Because
Right.
there is
Yeah.
both ends of it. We have to cultivate for somebody, and the person that's receiving that at the end. You can do this as a personal gesture all the time, but in all of your speak and all of your passion, you do so much outwardly that it would be nice for you to be able to do your thing outwardly. But if yours is by education and by
Yes.
whatever, I think it's a very
And you know
And
what?
as soon as we do plugs, you can hear all about it.
yeah.
If you grow, you know. Having the right gear for your home garden makes all the difference. That's why you need to get on board with Crop Culture's quarterly home grower boxes.
Crop Culture releases insane value boxes every 3 months packed with premium seeds, growing equipment, and unique extras tailored for those who want to plant with a purpose.
But that's not all. Coming soon, they're launching monthly crop drops, where you can snag a pack or two of Fire Genetics along with must-have gardening accessories like AC Infinity's legendary trimming scissors.
We're talking stickers, mystery goodies, and deeply discounted bundles you won't find anywhere else. Just an easy one-time purchase with no commitment.
Their current quarterly box is an absolute steal, featuring top shelf genetics, a pH meter or smell proof bag, monitoring tools, fermented plant probiotics, and more.
And for our listeners, use the code Twodopedudes for $10 off any purchase of $100 or more at cropculture.net.
So whether you want the full quarterly experience or just need a regular re-up, Crop Culture's got you covered.
Level up your garden and score some gear that'll have your plants standing tall. If you grow, you know you need to check them out at cropculture.net before sold out regret sets in. Let them help you plant with a purpose.
Hey there, fellow plant enthusiasts. Tired of using chemical fertilizers that harm your soil and the environment?
We feel you. That's why we want to introduce you to Green Grow Biological.
Green Grow offers organic soil amendments packed with beneficial bacteria and mycorrhizae fungi like their popular Pride Bloom fertilizer and flower finisher.
These little powerhouses work together to improve your soil health, helping your plants grow strong and healthy naturally. Whether you're a seasoned gardener or just starting out, Green Grow has something for you.
And because Green Grow is committed to sustainable practices, you can feel good about what you're putting into your home and garden.
Head over to thegreengrow.com to learn more about their amazing products and how they can help you take your gardening to the next level.
And listen up, because here's a special offer just for our listeners. Use the code Twodopedudes for 10% off your entire order at thegreengrow.com.
That's Twodopedudes for 10% off at greengrow.com. Happy planting! Hey, Curious connoisseurs, are you looking to elevate your wellness routine? Take it up a notch with Mr. CBD Chicago.
That's right, dude. They've got everything you need from their brand new El Jefe line, with CBD and THC sprays for a discreet and convenient dose, to their legendary Moonrock matte bottle rockets and the always satisfying Spliff Society pre-rolls.
And listen up, Two Dope Dude listeners. Use the code TwoDopeDudes at checkout for 10% off your entire order at MrCBDChicago.com. That's right, 10% off.
So ditch the stress and embrace the good vibes with Mr. CBD Chicago. Head over to their website today. Just remember, use the code Twodopedudes for that sweet discount. You're not going to regret it. Hey, so plugs real quick. Hold on.
Okay.
You can find us, the Elevated News Podcast, on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, and all your other favorite streaming and podcast apps. The @Twodopedudes YouTube channel. Please give us a like and leave a review. This helps us reach more people. Thank you for all the comments and the plays. You can find us at supportdopepeople.com along with links to our other pods. free stickers just by providing your email and address. I promise I'm going to get those out. You can also get t-shirts. Charlie's wearing one of the OG ones right there. And sweatshirts, which I have one over there. Today I'm wearing my Illinois Women in Cannabis t-shirt that I got from Cindy from the 1937 group when I went and did their networking thing last Thursday. It was fun. Dave?
I'm just wearing a black shirt.
Yeah.
No, if you aren't doing anything on Thursday, come hang out with me. Peace, Love, and Cope on YouTube. It's a great time, and we're only missing you.
Yep. And then November 30th, right there, Fox Valley Growers Club meetup and seed swap, sponsored by our friend at Go Genetics. Dab Bar by Harris Hash now. Something happened with Designer Organics, no big deal. I love those guys. Urban Legends outdoor winner, also running Go Genetics. So come out 5 to 9, Ignite Vape. Also, Chris from Crop Culture will be there, debuting the Herbs Now Dryer. Saw it the other night at Thanksgiving, was super fun. December 15th, do you have something, Charlie, that you want to tell us about?
Do I?
December 15th?
Oh, I'm just kidding. Yeah, actually, there might be something going on. It's the final market.
Yeah.
Yep. How about it's the Bean and Team Farewell Fest.
That's right.
So come see us. Come say goodbye to me and the team. It's been a fun journey.
Yeah.
You know, and it's don't even say goodbye. We'll see you soon.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, yeah.
That's all
there's
for
a-
now.
That's all for now.
That's all for now.
that's it.
Remember,
I like
remember we
that.
had that whole Colorado
Yep.
I
conversation.
like that. No, good. You might even convince me to make my way.
It's at a wedding venue. It's so nice.
That'd be an honor.
It's so nice.
yeah.
It's beautiful.
It is. It's fun.
All right.
It's a good time.
I think you know, the vibes are always good, but I think I really believe this one's gonna be different because like I mean this is a family to me.
Yeah.
You know, both for me, both vendors and attendees. Like
Yeah.
I know these people. I want to say by name, but there's so many.
Yeah. There's so
Yeah.
I
many
know almost everyone's name, but I
Yeah.
can't ever
You've
remember
interacted
on
with
the
all of
spot.
them.
But
like,
you know,
'cause you walk around and you
yeah.
check in on people.
But
and-
like there's I have relationships with these people, so I already know it's
Mhm.
going to be a day of so much positive energy. Like
Yeah.
I'm going to come off of this event ready for the next thing because I'm going to get so many hugs and
Yeah.
that energy is going to convert
yeah.
and I'm gonna get that and it's gonna go into something new and it's gonna go into something that's beautiful and it's gonna be as good as all the vibes has always been. I know the energy with all these people, it's not a sad thing either. It
Yeah.
really feels like
Yeah, we've been talking about it since, before
Yeah.
Colorado, but we had Charlie and I were in Colorado together and spent most of the time together.
and it's a chance for everyone
yeah.
to say goodbye to the team because the team
Yeah.
moving forward is going to look a little
Yeah.
different. There's going to be some core members who are going to be there. There's going to be some other people gone. There'll be some new people coming.
So tell us about the future. Tell us what's coming.
So, you know,
I just wanted to build some suspense.
that's good. I like it. So what's coming is going to be basically at the heart of it is a growing competition and a hash competition and also an award ceremony.
Yeah.
It's going to be one giant event that's hosted throughout 3 different days. That's broken down into 3 different months throughout the year.
Okay.
You have March, July, and November. And these dates are subject to be changed possibly, but basically that's what you're looking at. March is going to be, and everything's going to be focused around education and learning. And we're going to be bringing out special guests for speaker panels and growing seminars. And March is going to be, most likely. I don't want to speak beforehand because we're putting together a committee that's going to make all these decisions. But we'll focus the education part about early propagation and getting started and stuff like that. But it'll be a chance for people to enter the growing competition, enter the hash competition, get their judging packs. Stuff like that. We'll move into July. July's event's going to be a little more fun. There's going to be some more music, going back. We might do some more of the art stuff there
Yeah.
as far as vendors and art show, but it's also going to be, educational speakers there. And then it'll be a chance for people to nominate people that they believe should be recognized
within the community.
Whether
For
it's
the
a
end of the year
business or an
awards.
individual. There's going to be a series of different awards. Again, I can't talk about what awards because
Right,
we still have
but,
to come up with all that.
Specific entries
yeah,
and
and
whatnot,
then
right.
the November event will be the actual awards where we,
like more of a gala.
yes. So people, the growers will win there'll be a ceremony for the winners of the growing competition. There'll be a ceremony for the people who got recognized in the community and won awards.
Sure.
There'll be special guest speaker.
Yeah.
I like it.
And that'll be the heart of it. So those will be 3 larger events, and they're basically like giant sessions with a lot of education and fun still built around it.
In community.
Yes,
Well,
and then we're
community
gonna
at the
do
heart of it.
we'll do smaller things throughout the year constantly.
Yeah.
I'm
sure as things come up.
Yeah,
As we get
that'll-
ideas in our head, we do
yeah,
things,
like how we
you
did the
know.
Miles event and
Sure.
stuff like that. So
Education is huge, right? Especially when Goat was here and
Yeah.
did his thing. I had a
Yep.
buddy that came through
Yep.
and he left. He was like, bro, that was like the fucking greatest thing that
Yeah.
I've ever been to in my life. He said, I feel 10x smarter than I was before.
Right.
And I was so able to talk to everybody around that,
Yep.
like, by the time I left, I was like, I fucking know exactly what I'm supposed to do.
Right.
Right. Like,
Sometimes
it-
it's just confirmation that you do indeed have a lot of knowledge. Because as growers, it's so singular sometimes.
Yep.
You in the garden.
and that's why I think, like, the way that, especially the way that you put it, to start off at the beginning and say, here's the beginning processes, here's how you start. To talk about all of it at once is fucking impossible. Once you're done with the one sesh, go to the next, and then
Yeah.
it's kind of like, hey, how's
progression.
everybody doing? Continued education.
Yep.
And then finale, show us the fucking product, right?
Right.
Present where we've all come to. And like, at least that's what I was hearing when you were saying the thing, like progressively going through the year and making this especially educational sided, but also, who doesn't love a sesh, bro?
Yeah.
Who doesn't love
Yes.
getting together in a bigger community in a comfortable space, right? Because every time that I've been to one of your events, it hasn't felt grimy, shady,
Right.
like I have to look over my shoulder all the time. Everybody's very
I've never felt like the
sewn
place
up.
is going to get busted.
well, and
ever.
that's what I'm saying. Like, things
And-
are sewn up in a way where you respectably
that's
are
thought
able
of.
to represent
Yep.
what we're doing here, and it's not loud or aggressive and in your face.
Yes.
Right.
And the image of the event is always thought of as I put this on because, look, my goal at the end of it is to drive cannabis culture.
Right.
And
Illinois cannabis culture.
yes, ICC. Thank you.
Just the website just
to
renewed, by the
normalize
way.
it. I love it. And to normalize it. And you need to do it in a way. And, I'm not wanting to knock the way anyone else does anything, but I want to be easy on the eyes to everyone.
Yeah.
Right? I don't want anyone to see our events and not be willing to open the book and read what's on the inside, so to say,
Sure.
because the appearance just scared them away.
Yeah.
And that's something I had to deal with my whole life. And that's part of what drives me to do all this was I was always the dirty stoner pot smoking kid that needed to be put out over here to the side because no one wanted to see or participate with whatever those devilish little things we're
Yeah.
doing. And the thing is to change that, to let people come in and feel comfortable and actually find out, right? Let's
Right.
get our toes wet. And to do that, sometimes, you got to have a different appearance and you got to look, I want everyone who comes to my event to be able to be, whether it's the 21-year-old to your grandmother.
Yeah.
My mom has come to my events
Mhm.
and that means
Yeah.
something to me, right?
Yeah.
Like, and that's the way it should be. Like, everyone and anyone should be comfortable at one of these events.
I have run into the wildest people in my life at your events. Like, I'm like, what the fuck are you doing here?
It's a
Old-
melting pot.
It's everybody, and I love
is.
that more than anything. Like, it literally, one of the outdoor events that I went
It was
to,
the first one you came to.
I could not stop running into fucking people, dude.
He couldn't get to me. It took him 45 minutes from the time he got there for him to get over to
Yeah.
where we were.
Yeah.
There are
That's cool.
and professionals, bro. People that, in my opinion, have represented at least the way that they should have cannabis on the ground levels in dispensaries and cultivation centers
Yep.
on a legal side of things,
Yeah.
who are coming to your events going, holy shit, this is sewn up. This is cool to see going on. And like,
Yep.
You know,
We've
thank you
had
f-
our friends at Consume come down, and I introduced
thank
to
you for saying
Charlie.
that.
Our friends up in Rockford, what is it, Trinity Glen, Illinois. They've
Yep.
come down, done a bunch of educational events too. Everybody loves it.
And thank you. I appreciate
1937
hearing that
group,
because the important thing with
Ray.
that right there is, and I'll say this humbly. I say this humbly is that we're doing this right, not just for us, but for the state of Illinois, and it's getting recognized. Like
Yeah.
we do it in a way where it's done right compared to anywhere else, not just in our state, but other states.
Yep.
Like it's the kind of culture and community that you really want to get to.
Yep.
Like I don't care what state you've been to and what kind of show you've been to, and I'm not saying it's the best or the biggest
No,
show
but it's
either.
actual history.
the-
But
if you,
yes, and
yeah.
the thing is, we're operating on literally like there's no budget to this. This is really just people who love cannabis and
Mhm.
are passionate about it that make this happen.
Mhm.
So, and I'm not trying to knock on anyone when I say this because it kind of is naturally a knock on people, but this is not no corporate $30,000 sponsored event. This is pulled together. This is pulled together by hard work, blood, sweat, and tears, and love for
Hope and a
cannabis,
prayer.
and
And
a
love for
commitment,
cannabis.
that failure is not an option, and that we don't have the money doesn't matter because we're gonna make this work.
Can we mention this all goes down while you have a family, while you're running a
Well-
business, you have
Yeah.
a lot of other things going on, all while I see you devoting time into this thing. And that's the part of it that like, what do they always say? Like, when you really do what you love, it's not work, right?
Yeah.
And that's the thing with you. And I've,
Finding balance is hard for me.
bingo.
Yeah.
That's what
So
I've.
I am. This is what I tell people that they don't understand is it takes a bit of a sickness.
Yeah.
Like I am passionate and I am driven, and sometimes it's not healthy.
No. Be honest about it. We're addicted, bro. And
Oh,
I told people this
yeah.
the other day about the
Well, that's why
dispensary.
when you said that, I would love to paint a perfect picture, but like when you do something like this and you really like, it doesn't come without sacrifice
Yeah.
sometimes.
Mhm.
Like you have to be, and it doesn't always all go bad, but I knew this in the beginning beforehand, and I was willing. I've always been willing when it came to this cannabis community. Like I know what I'm getting to.
Right.
I know what my risks are.
Yeah.
So when the shit goes down, you don't hear me cry and boo-hoo too much.
No, and
I
we've
just
gone
kind
over
of take my
scenarios. I
licks
know
and my
you
kicks
actually
and
know
keep
what's
going.
up.
Yes. So, but, there can't be no victory sometimes. And not saying I'm in for a victory. I've got any kind of victory, but there can't be. You're gonna get some bumps and scrapes and bruises along the way.
Yeah.
So finding balance and all that it's hard. It's a struggle. It's not. This is not for everyone. But then again, that's part of what drives me to keep doing it because
In the end,
not
it's-
anyone and everyone can do this. I happen to be one of those sick, demented people.
In the end, what all three of us have in common. In the end, what all three of us have in common, Dave working the compliance side, you working the grow store and event side, me being a caregiver and a grower. The one thing that we all three want that we have in common is access to cannabis. We want to increase access to cannabis. That's what we should.
Yeah.
That's what
Amen.
we should take away.
Hey, man.
It's about access to cannabis.
Since
Whether it's
1992,
recreational, whether it's for
that's
growing,
what I've been doing.
whether
And I think through all of this speak, the biggest thing, we none of us want to be fucking flashy about it.
Right.
None of us have ever claim, nobody wants recognition from this.
Right.
Even in us talking on cameras, and I don't care about recognition. I genuinely want to get the message that I care about in
Yep.
the way that I care about this plant. How the fuck do I portray it out there
Right.
so that all the people understand there is a safe place here?
Mhm.
There, when it's not the fucking flashy corporate shit from the city
Right.
where everybody's hoity-toity, fuck that shit. When it's grassroots down in the dirt where all of us have come from something that isn't spoon-fed, right? All of us have been slapped on the fucking wrist a bunch of times. All of us have been punched in the eyes a bunch of times. We haven't never been protected from the scrutinies, especially from what cannabis has given to us. Our families have turned on us. Our friends have turned on us. Our loved ones. Everybody will go, well, it's because of that fucking weed thing that you're doing. And all of us are sitting here going, why the fuck don't you get what I understand about this? And I'm not,
Right.
I had a buddy literally yesterday when we were at disc golf. He said, man, you're 35, you're still smoking weed. I said, I will be 95 and smoking weed.
Yeah.
All right. It's not, this isn't one of those, I said, bro, you're fucking 38. You're still drinking alcohol.
Mm-hmm.
What do you mean? I did that when I was 14. I did that because I was cool. Fucking, we used to, you know what I mean? Now I'd rather take care of myself. I'd rather be in control of my thoughts. I'd rather not be this anxious fucking, especially drunk, belligerent, fucking none of that, right? There is a sewn upness to what all of us have done with this plant and the way that we want to present the plant. That still, to me, it's like, man, we're still scrutinized against. You'll always be looked at. You'll always,
Yeah.
but I think that's why all of us are still here too doing it, is because it's worth it, man. The juice is worth the squeeze at the end.
And the truth about this market, going back to what your first point was with this market versus that market or anything else corporate wise is, and it's another one of those cheesy things that I love to say, but this is truly for the people and it's by the people.
Yeah.
Like this is not a corporate grab. Like this is the people putting this on for the people.
Right.
Right.
And
Because
that's-
this is what we would have wanted.
And it's
And people
Yep.
deserve,
Or-
people are doing cool enough stuff that they deserve to be showcased.
Yep, you know, and then or activities like Stoner Olympics.
Sure.
Just bringing a little bit of fun to the cannabis
Sure.
community with things that we grow up doing. You know.
Yeah. Or highlighting our friends like Goat Genetics, who's, man, he's check him out on Black Friday, Triple Cherry, which I had some. It's so freaking good. And Goat Glue. S1
I was
seeds.
gonna say that goat glue. Really, honestly.
Yeah.
Damn, that was really.
I
impressive.
snagged a pack. Those won't be available but I will have goat seeds from his line available at the seed swap
And I want to
for
say
free.
this,
Come get them.
since we're gonna pick on Kevin for a second. You know, I've been doing this a long time. I got in the cannabis industry in 1992. I started cultivating in 1998. I've seen a lot of things in the garden. I know a lot of homies across the country.
Yeah,
I've seen a
true
lot
story.
I've seen a lot of genetics. And when I first met Kevin, I mean, I knew right away. I was like, this kid's onto something.
Yeah.
You know, this dude's got something. You know, he's got something in the mix.
Did you say happy birthday to Kevin yesterday? I bet you didn't.
I know.
Well,
I
today's Wednesday, but you know,
happy birthday, bro.
happy
but
birthday.
no, like he's really got something
Yeah.
going on, and going back to the whole putting Illinois on the map
Yeah.
thing. That's why I like working with this kid.
Yeah.
You know, he's really putting in the work when
He
it comes
is.
to genetics.
Yep. He is.
And people cultivating
He is.
and like breeding. I mean, come on, we know. I'm not gonna stir the pot
Don't.
here, but when it comes to it, like this dude grows his own shit out,
Yeah.
puts in the work,
Yeah.
takes the time. We're just not, you know. I'm not gonna say too much more. I'm gonna leave it right there. But
He's a real
I
deal.
can, yes,
He's a real deal.
yes. So
He's no sellout.
and he's smart. He knows what he's doing, and
He's
the
pointed, dude.
oh yeah,
When I
the
talk to that guy,
growth
he's
over the
like-
last couple years too.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, I that's why too, like I genuinely, I said it at the beginning, I'm slightly honored in some of the ways when Aaron started bringing me more into this community and I started to see who was around, and I'm coming from corporate America Cannabis, right? Like I genuinely am rubbing elbows with some badasses, okay?
Yeah.
I'm seeing some fucking people who are doing some shit on
Yeah.
a big scale. When I got in here, I looked around and was like, holy fuck, man. There are some real badasses in here. It's just like this thing though, right? Like I used to talk about all the time. For every MLB baseball player that we idolize here, there is literally a kid who doesn't have access to the shit who can throw a rock in the air and hit it with a fucking
Yep.
stick so much better than they can play baseball or whatever. He doesn't have the same fucking opportunities, right?
Yep.
So some of these people just haven't been put into the right places yet.
Yeah.
And you trying to cultivate that and you almost trying to force some of that into the light is
100%.
brilliant, bro.
Okay,
And
so there's nothing. I am not a hater of corporate cannabis. I'm not a fan either, but I'm not a hater. And really, a big thing of what I do, because you're gonna find me. I'm all things cannabis. You'll find me anywhere and everywhere. You might find me and see me at corporate events. You might see me working with dispensaries. The thing is to bridge that gap, and in two different ways. Which first, what you're touching on is access.
Yep.
And access. Ability for people to get into these other markets that are now being developed, because this whole cannabis industry is new, right?
Right.
So these are newly developed markets, and how do people that don't have those resources or those abilities get into those places that are kind of normally people get in based off of favoritism?
Right.
And then the other gap is that we need a bridge. And you know, I've done some of the legwork on this already, and I see the possibility, and I also see the struggle. Is that we can both exist, that these two markets, these two different entities, the corporate world and
Well, we've
and
seen
this-
some of that recently, coexisting.
on this
Yes.
podcast, we have given the key to this 100%. Hear me out for just a second. If they would just fucking give peddlers licenses out, okay, where they allowed guys like you, me, Aaron, if we so felt like we could cultivate or we had a quality enough product to represent as true
Yes.
cannabis.
Love the idea.
Because corporate America doesn't unlock true cannabis.
that's how
right?
it should be. But here's the
That's
thing:
the mission of Fox Valley Growers
the
Club.
problem with all
Please
this,
come participate because that's the mission.
yes, but this is what everyone has to understand. For it to really, really work the right way, the problem is it's the structure and the foundations are already been built wrong. So, and I understand based off of the current structure and framework they have, the reason why you can't have that kind of craft growing market now with home growers is because of the regulations that these facilities have to follow. There's no way the home craft grower can follow these same regulations.
Oh,
and
they
fit in the,
definitely could.
there would have
Some
to be
of them.
somewhere at the framework. Would have to be some restructuring for the. And I'm not
Sure.
against this.
100%.
It's getting the politicians and everyone on board to do this.
Well-
but you would have to restructure some of the framework for up top for the corporate companies the way they're
The
regulated.
good thing is that there's already framework in New York and Pennsylvania,
Other
and,
states,
and other
yes.
democratic social equity based
Yes,
states.
there are other
Shame
states
on
where-
you, Illinois. You're letting other states be more social equity than you.
Oh.
You failed. You
Uh-oh.
failed.
JB, when you're listening to this later,
Because we know you are.
yeah,
Yeah.
you're here.
Well, we don't have the 7 billion we don't have the 7 billion people contract anymore. For the first year that we did it, we had the contract. 7 billion people listened, which is everybody in the world.
Right.
You know, but that was our rookie year contract. We don't have that anymore. So we estimate, I don't know, probably 143 ish people
Yeah.
or so listen.
Well, and,
but
yeah, it's too much to afford.
Yeah.
the
7 billion.
Yeah.
I mean, it was a rookie year contract. You only get once.
Yeah.
No, I don't know, man. I just desperately hope, and I hear what you're saying, and I know that the reason you immediately went, all right, I know why, but we got to break it down from the top. We're trying to reverb the verbs over there, right?
Right.
I say, fuck it. run it like you do everything else.
Yeah.
Right? You're Illinois, you just fucking make some new fucking class of license. You just call it a different license. And so long as
Yeah.
we follow what now is in place, supposedly the governing doctrines of what classifies you as cannabis or hemp or whatever the fuck, whether you're supposed to be corporate America or in a gas station,
Yeah.
is that 0.03% THC thing, which a peddler, any one of us could fucking do if we wanted to, but you give peddler licenses with THC access.
Yeah.
You allow people fucking 1% THC. You allow people 2% THC. Something. Give it a trivial fucking number, because all of these numbers that they make up is just arbitrary bullshit, right? Somebody fucking was like 0.5, you know, it's like,
Right.
what the fuck does that have to do with anything, right? And mathematically, none of what they've ever done has made any sense.
Well, because you have regulators and politicians, people who making up laws on a plant and a lifestyle that they don't know or understand. Because the research and the education hasn't been laid out, right?
We talked
and a lot
about-
of it's a lot of what they did have already was misinformation.
Yeah.
So now you're making laws on bullshit.
Literally watch just the clip of Trump talk to Theo Vaughn about drugs. And I bring it up a lot, but like it means something. That is going to be the president speaking to Theo Vaughn, who is a comedian, a podcaster, or whatever.
A very
and he's-
experienced drug user.
He's correct.
I did
And he's
cocaine with
speaking
Daryl
on-
Strawberry.
Speaking on drugs to Trump, where Trump is speaking on drugs like it's the fuck you
Well,
of
yeah,
the
'cause
world.
he's a
like,
teetotaler.
well, and
Yeah.
he's not right.
I
and
swear I saw something about him talking about legalizing cannabis, though.
I don't
Okay,
think that
anyways.
I don't think that he's against any of it. I think he's scared of it because that's nothing he's ever done.
Right.
And when we have such bad verbiage around all things, we classify cannabis as a drug, we classify opium as a drug, we classify MDMA and LSD as drugs, and those things.
I mean, LSD, you could argue that it literally is a drug.
Well,
I don't even mind calling cannabis a drug,
I'm just
as long
simply
as
telling
we-
you is that all of those things get called the same word.
Yeah.
But that we all know the vast differences in what these things are
Right.
capable of.
Sure.
All of us have
Well,
experienced
that's fine
some
as
of
long
these
as we
things.
can sit here and in the same breath and understand that caffeine is a drug. right?
100%. So is sugar.
Yeah.
Exactly.
100%.
So, like, I don't really mind. I'm not going to let words hurt my feelings.
Right.
But words have meanings, and long as we understand the meaning and the definitions and the different uses of these.
And that's why what we are doing, what the podcast, you
Yeah.
coming on, your events, all of our advocacy is normalizing the correctness of the words that surround cannabis, right? Because it's not a drug. You can classify it however the fuck you want. It's cannabis, though, right? It's not recreational or medical. It's cannabis. And though all of these things can be used as descriptive words for what this thing is, all of the shitty words that are used in conjunction with it put it in a place where we don't have the access, which is what all of us are talking about.
Right.
There's no normalization. The understanding of even the words, they're not understood. Listen to professionals of cannabis speak about the differences of hemp and cannabis
Right.
and watch them. They don't know what the fuck they're saying.
Yeah.
Oh, well, the shit from the gas station, it's 10 times less potent. It's the less regular. Shut the fuck. You don't even know what the fuck you're saying.
They don't
Because
even
I've seen some
understand. They
bomb
don't
shit
even,
in
yeah,
gas stations.
They
bro.
don't even understand the difference to even understand what the actual argument is about.
And,
They
and-
don't understand the difference in the plant. So how can you even argue what the whole thing is, what it is? You don't understand it.
And then how
There's no argument
how
for
the
it.
fuck do we change regulators
Right.
and governmental officials
Right.
who don't understand even what the fuck this is, who literally, and I fucking hope Trump hears me. If somebody can fucking forward this
Dave
on.
Smith, please.
Yeah, whoever can give this directly to Trump. Trump, cannabis is not a drug, man.
Right.
Let's
Yeah.
unclassify this as
it's
a
a
drug.
plant.
Come talk to me. I'll help you understand it. Come talk to this panel. I promise you, it's not scary and it's way more beneficial. And this shit can make us a lot of money.
Talk to
Not
Rogan
us
about it.
individual.
I got this.
Yeah.
I got this funny picture in my head as I'm listening to you, because the problem is you got all these people making the laws that they're uneducated. So I'm picturing them like, all right, let's bring in the professionals, and I'm picturing this panel of professionals coming in. It's just a bunch of, that's why they don't get them, because the professionals are us. You know what I mean?
But
It's a bunch of people who look like us, and they're
according to what we're saying, the people who deeply understand and are passionate about this plant on a more than just intoxicating level, right? There's so much more to it than that. These other people that are professionals are the people who now own the fucking licenses.
Yep.
They're the people who they can show up at a lobbying session and go, oh, here's my credentials. I own this and I own that. And listen to me, I'm very important. And we see how much pull it has in recently how GTI dogged the fuck out of the medical market and pulled that quick one at the end.
Yep.
Is there merit to some of what the fuck they said? Genuinely, there might actually be.
Probably.
But because all of us know that they would not have stopped this if there wasn't some ramification. But distinctly to your point, that is because it's foundationally broken already.
Yeah.
So where do we go? Because without going, let's all wipe it clean and let's start from the beginning.
You can't realistically, right? You can't.
Because everybody's understanding of cannabis is their own individual
Personal
experiences with
yes.
it.
And you know what? Fucking amen to that. And that's the way it should be.
And that's okay. That's all it has to be. And I beg people, get off of Leafly. All right, because when somebody tells you that fucking Blue Dream is sativa dominant or indica dominant or whatever the fuck it's supposed to be, that's not what that guy over there grew.
Make sure to use code CUSTY when you order off Leafly. Let them know that we sent you. CUSTY.
On point, my man.
Yeah, that's awesome. That's fantastic. No, I desperately would like to see. I think it's been so good talking to you, and thank you for fucking coming on here and
Absolutely, man. This is
ranting
great.
back and forth.
Love
Yeah,
it. As it's been a wild ride, and my life is all over the place right now. But this is like the best time for me to probably sit and talk.
Yeah.
Like I'm getting to be at a different place mentally.
Yeah.
And I think it's I don't know. It's been a
Seasons
blessing.
Seasons of change,
Yeah,
brother.
it's been
Like
a blessing. No, honestly, look, I think it's been whatever has happened over the last few years has been sharpening the sword
Yeah.
for what's coming next.
Yeah.
Because what I got coming next is going to be a challenge.
Yeah.
It's going to be new. It's going to be different. It's not going to be quite what everyone's used to. So will it and can it be successful? Which I'm going to look to the audience and all you guys out there who attend these events. Keep showing up, keep supporting, keep paying attention to what's coming next.
Yeah.
Because as long as you keep showing up, I'll be able to put on that next thing for you guys. And I promise I will put in the work to deliver.
Yeah. Check his profile for, ticket links.
Yeah, we'll
check
make
our
sure
bio.
to
Link
add
in the
all
bio.
of your links and all of your bio information to
Yeah.
Instagrams and all those, so that that's the thing, bro. Like, and I think for you, take some time, do this next event, kill it like you do, get your hugs. You're saying the things correct, right? You're sharpening the sword. For me, I talk about it a lot, constant and never-ending improvement, this idea of CAN-I, right? It's an acronym, constant and never-ending improvement.
Yep.
If we constantly are going, okay, I can improve on that, I can make it better, that means that you've learned from what you've experienced. You don't take it for granted. You respect the next situation. You just do it better, bro.
Yeah.
And every time that I've come to another one of your events, it just seems like all of them are getting better. The community is getting fucking more tight knit. There's a
Yeah.
lot of cool people, and also it ebbs and flows. There's people who have lost touch and gone out, and they want to
Yep.
do their own. Maybe and maybe, but I've always known you, and ever since the beginning, it's like you're like full open doors, right? Like you've always told me, those people are just doing their own journey now.
Yeah.
If they come back into the revolving
Yep.
door, then I bring them in. We have the
Or
conversations we
even
need
better
to.
yet, if they go out and they grow the culture and the community, that's even better.
Yeah.
Oh,
if we
100%.
if we can sprout a few little seeds along the way and cultivate more events, like
Yeah.
there's nothing wrong with that at all.
100%.
I love it. Yeah. And we have our strong core, and that strong core, to what you're saying, basically that strong core has grown from off of every event. And then you got some people who come and go, and then they come back, and it's like a family,
Yeah.
It's beautiful. It's
Yeah.
really beautiful.
Ray at Pedigree.
Yep.
He
My boy Ray.
Yeah, he was around and then gone for a while, and then he
Yep,
came back.
came
He's
back,
been
yeah.
putting in the work.
And then there's
and then
people,
he just won at Urban Legends. He placed there.
yes, he
that
did.
was awesome.
And
So
then
happy for
let
him.
me talk about people like Latanya,
Yeah.
who's been with me since day one.
Yeah.
Mr. CBD, my boy Mark.
Yeah.
Oh, love Mark.
One of our sponsors.
I fucking love
Juju's
Mark.
Junior,
Yeah.
Miguel,
Yeah.
House of
House of Bandits.
House of Bandits,
Yep.
Spliff Society.
Yeah.
Oh,
You
yeah.
know, these people have been with me
Oh, yeah.
since, the beginning.
Yeah.
And
And some of them have come and gone, hosted and toasted.
Yeah.
I don't want to leave anyone out. I love everyone.
Yeah, for sure.
No Dibbles,
Yeah.
Carissa.
Yeah. Carissa,
CG
CG
Arts.
Art, just killing it now. Love that woman.
It's gonna get emotional
Oh yeah.
on the 15th. It will be, but it's gonna be a good, beautiful, emotional thing.
Yeah.
that's all right, though. I think like the cannabis community accepts emotion, right?
Yeah.
And I think that's another part of why the
Wh-
cannabis community is so great, because some of us aren't as intellectually sewn up as some of these other people. We're not as book smart as you might be, but we are fucking emotionally intelligent creatures who genuinely like to bond over commonality,
Yep.
who like to find an
Well,
existable
and
space.
I'm one of those people, like, I wear my heart on
Yep.
my sleeve, and
100%.
and I am very driven and passionate. Like, I just don't do things. Like, I put myself into something. So this isn't just the end of the event. Like, this is
Yeah.
me detaching a piece of myself
Yeah.
and letting it go.
Bro, you're
and you almost
um,
did. You almost we had talked about it extensively, and you were not going to do another event, and then something in you just said,
Okay,
you got to do
You're
it.
in your
so-
chrysalis phase.
So let's talk
bro.
about this, the roller coaster that's in my head.
We got a couple minutes left.
Okay, I'll be fast. So at first it was we're going until the wheels fall off.
Yeah.
Then it was like, you know what? The time has come. I'm gonna quietly ride off into the sunset on my donkey and go away. And then I just felt this this calling, this need to have a farewell.
Yeah.
Not just for me, for the people,
Yeah.
for the community, especially with other events going on in the community that I see.
Yeah.
There was this need because everyone was expecting one more, right?
Mhm.
No one knew that if the end was coming. So there was this need for one more, one more good last show. And it's a chance for the team to say goodbye because it's been, my girls, Jenny and Rochelle, like, this is their baby.
Yeah.
It's been very emotional for them.
For
So,
sure.
these ladies deserve that farewell as much as I do. Tom, John, Norm,
Yeah.
Adam,
Aaron.
Aaron. Got the two Aarons, Kevin. There's a lot of us.
Yeah.
I know I'm forgetting or I'm leaving people out, but it's a chance for everyone to say their goodbyes.
Yeah.
And
One last
But
hurrah.
and it's there's this weird thing inside me, and when I'm hearing you say what you're saying, it's this thing is the last hurrah.
Yeah.
But get ready for
The next.
the return tour, the
Look.
not so
this is what I say about everything I do.
encore.
Yeah, you're never gonna see the last of me.
Yeah.
That's
like-
it, baby.
Like cannabis isn't just this wasn't a business or a job. This is a lifestyle, way of life. This is who I am. This is what I do. You can't really stop me. So, you're gonna always see
Yeah.
me here and there, one way or another. You can't keep a good bean down.
That's right.
So-
I like it. No, honestly, Charlie, I can't tell you how much I appreciate just talking with you. I'm
Yeah.
sorry we never
Thank
made
you.
it to any of the news or any of
Yeah.
the stuff, but that gives
My
us good
bad.
content for next time.
Yeah.
No, it's perfectly fine. I
I talk
actually
too much.
No,
no,
this
I
is
think we
perfect.
needed this. I think
Yeah.
everybody, I think even the listeners, it'll be a nice change
Yeah.
from hearing us talk about the news and shit. Let's let the local news
Yeah.
just got presented to
Yeah.
you here
Local
today.
cannabis news and culture.
Yeah.
And this is both news and culture.
Yes, and the most important thing, don't forget, people, like, share, and subscribe.
No,
It only
see-
takes 2 seconds.
Yeah.
Right here, click below.
Yeah.
Click that thumbs up.
Yeah.
Share with your friends.
Yeah.
Okay, make sure you're subscribed. Stay tuned for the next one.
Yeah.
Come on, we
I appreciate
support
that,
dope
bro.
people.
Yeah.
Let's do
Watch
this.
it. Watch
Thank
it twice. Let it go overnight.
Yeah.
We could use the views.
No,
There
I
you
But
go.
yeah,
appreciate
we thank
you a
you.
ton. Yeah, we. You know what, dude? At some point, we'll have to get you back on.
Oh, yeah,
and,
for sure.
when we
Yeah.
do them, yeah,
Well,
we're gonna.
yeah, I think early next year at the turn of the year, I got some things coming, so I'd like to get back on and make some announcements
Yeah.
before March.
100%.
So, yeah.
I like this.
Yeah.
Look, man, I love cannabis. I love culture. I love community. I love people.
Yeah.
I love doing things. I'm passionate about this.
Yeah.
This chapter is coming to an end, but the next one
Oh, it's
is
a big ass
just
book, though.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's just beginning.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
trust me, we're going for a ride.
Yeah.
I have things for this state and this culture in our community. Illinois is just getting on the map. We're just getting started. So keep supporting dope people. Tune in,
Yeah.
and you'll see what's next.
Yeah. Anything,
Peace.
Dave, anything else?
No,
Hmm.
Charlie, I really
Sweet.
appreciate you, brother. I
Thanks,
genuinely,
guys.
like I
Charlie.
said, I've
Yeah.
looked up to you for a long time. If you guys have never met Charlie, get to this last event.
Yeah.
It is a chance for you to literally meet a living legend.
Yeah.
This man
Thank
is.
you. Thank you.
He is somebody I've looked up to since the day that I've seen him and I've met him, and he's been nothing but just a real human to me ever since. That's what
Yeah.
you get though here. There's a real deal. But
Charlie, I appreciate your friendship, and thanks for letting us use the spot as a studio. Other than that, we love you all. Smoke weed every day. Peace.
later, fam.
Yo, ding dong, we're done here. Time to go.